right, welcome back to the second part of session 53.
Brad's so cool right now.
Doc Harbor.
Doc Harbor.
Dak Haba.
So hot right now.
Come down to the Doc Harbor.
Pack your car.
Throw your tea in.
You got some sponsor?
I can't
Nice.
keep it up. I can't keep it up.
Right, so we have sponsors, and I'm not gonna screw up this time.
Yay.
Maybe.
Boston sponsors.
Our first sponsor.
Yeah. Do it.
Our first sponsor is our friends at Gaming Paper. If you play tabletop RPGs, you need to check out gamingpaper.com.
Check them out.
They got regular paper, isometric paper, that shit's 3D.
3D.
Blow your freaking mind.
Blow your freaking mind.
It's in the papes.
They got dry erase tiles, transparent tiles, wrapping paper. Phew, they got all kind of stuff.
They got
Plus-
mom's chowder?
Got the chowder.
Plus, they host our podcast, so check them out at gamingpaper.com.
Yay.
Our second sponsor for the evening are our friends at Character Case. Check them out, helpfulnpcs.com. They've been posting some things. Liz, yours is upside down.
I like that better.
But if you need a great way to transport your dice, minis, character sheets, pencils, just stuff to keep you organized and in your space at the table, Character Case does a really good job. So check them out. And lastly, all of the sounds not made by us this evening are going to be from our friends at Sirenscape. They provide lovely soundscapes and background music for your D&D and other tabletop type campaign play stuff. I was doing so damn well.
Pretend it didn't happen. Keep going.
It's okay, you had the extra credit with the Boston accent.
Check them out at Sirenscape.com. They also have a cool web player, so if you're playing remotely with your friends,
very
you can
cool.
all hear the same music at the same time, even if
It's
you're in
pretty
different
dope.
states,
Love you,
countries,
that web
or time
player.
zones.
Browser based too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's great. We love them.
Browser based is a
Love
game
them.
changer.
Oh,
Mwah.
Also, don't forget to check us out on spring.com where you can buy all of our amazing merch. We have t-shirts like this one and the one that Liz is wearing and a whole bunch of other ones. We have the Goose is Loose. We have Jill's
I
face.
should have worn the Goose is Loose. I'm very
Maybe
sorry.
get
It's the great, and we got dice pouches
Perfect.
and stickers and phone cases and masks for the
I
second
think we
plague.
should make a hamster beyond.
I cannot agree more.
If anyone is interested in creating art for a
Let us know.
hamster beyond
Let us know.
with wings,
The holy ham grenade.
Yes, it's okay.
We need
The
holy
our
ham
noble
grenade.
the
ham
holy
grenade.
ham grenade.
Anyway, with all these wonderful advents and all these great ideas, please feel free to check us out on spring.com. Just search Dice Tales.
Whoa, wow. And
Ow.
listen to our podcast at all the places podcasts
and
are
our
usually
art
found.
friends.
And our art friends who we love. TJ Corbett, Barb Williams, and Isaac Grimaldi.
That's all of
They're
them.
pretty neat.
Check them out too. We love them. Think that's it?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting recapping.
The Children of Destiny prepared to leave for Mezaketh Isle. To Jill's dismay, Merrick revealed that he'd been asked to remain in Burdusk and help facilitate the growing alliance. While the party remained suspicious of their prickly new companion, Cedere, they did agree to give him the benefit of the doubt. Before leaving Burdusk, Beyonce attempts to scry on Kezan Rel, the name Cedere had provided. His magic was blocked by Shah herself, which may mean they're on the right track. And that's where we pick up the adventure tonight on Dice Tales.
And we are back.
Woo!
All right.
Nailed it.
So, having just finished your dramatic scrying failure, yay, you wanted to talk to Belvoir.
I did. So Jill would just kind of be stewing and eating and stewing and eating, and as these guys kind of go up to with Beyonce to do this scrying, Jill just kind of is walking with them for a little bit and then kind of like peels off and goes and wants to talk to Belvoir and goes to where she met with him the first time and just sort of like knocks on the door.
Okay. He is in.
Good.
He will open the door and say, "Are you ready to leave?"
Yeah, it's just about. My very strong friend is talking to his magic mirror, so I figured I would come and chat with you real quick before we headed out.
Come on in.
Thank you. And I would go in and I would kind of like have a seat in his chair, and Jill is sort of like kind of just like leaning back in the chair and looking up and around and like, so what are you gonna have Merrick doing while we go? What's the job that was so important?
Search out this Dumbral Calyx and find what connection it has to all of this.
So sitting in the library and reading some books?
No, I mean, that's what you're doing. He will be working with any of our allies who appear, briefing them on the situation, on what we know about the Tanthals and the Shadowvar.
And you needed him to stay and do that, did you?
Yes,
Why?
for his safety.
Yeah, for his safety, but fuck all the rest of us, right? Alright, I just wanted to get it all out on the table. Good day. And she would stand up. She would stand up and
Good afternoon.
I should say so.
What a firebrand.
Yeah. And she would kind of like turn back to him.
No one's making you go.
And Jill would just sort of like kind of smile and wryly and shake her head and just be like, we have to go. No one is making us go, but we have to go.
I see.
And apparently Merrick has to stay here to talk to people.
Someone does.
Why not you? Why doesn't he brief someone on what to say and then he can come?
Because it seems you've all been through quite a bit together.
Exactly.
Not enough time exists for him to fully fill me in on everything. Having somebody who has a first-person experience, a first-hand account, is going to mean more to these people. If you think there's someone better suited in your party, we can discuss that.
No. No.
Looking at the group of you, you seem particularly well-rounded, but you needed someone who might be able to provide the spells that Cyr de Ray could bring.
Yeah.
I hoped it could at least be a trade. I'm not certain that Merrick's many talents are quite on par with the rest of you. And I think he agrees based on what he's said to me. He doesn't want to hold any of you back.
And Jill would sort of like, she's been sort of like tight this whole time, and then she finally, like, her shoulders kind of slump, and she just says to Belwar, like, you are very wise, you know what you're talking about. Do you ever know that something is the right thing to do, but you want to be selfish in the worst way?
All the time.
What do you do when it's very difficult to not be selfish?
Find something else to be selfish about that won't put anyone else in a bad position.
And Jill would just sort of like shove her hands in her pockets and kind of nod and like, please take care of him.
I promise.
And then she would leave, just turn.
Okay, he doesn't say anything else, so away you go. All right. So you all will meet up with Cyr de Ray in sort of a central area, the big lobby where people like float up and down, and there's the big trees, and it's all fancy and gorgeous. That place.
Were we gonna run and get a bag of holding before we met with Cyr de Ray?
Maybe
Well, we
You
just
guys
did
have
that
done
off
that
Oh, we
camera.
did that already. Okay.
Just did it off camera.
Unless you want to do a grand shopping adventure.
No, that's fine.
You're thinking home, wanna watch a shop?
Shop!
Let's go shopping!
Oh my god.
Scrolling through our
Viewership
phones,
goes
looking at
Yeah, it's
magic
like,
items.
okay, I want this. Oh, crap, too,
Okay.
but
Anyway, so Sir DeRay will join you there. And the first thing that he will ask is, so do we have a plan for our arrival?
We had spoken of teleporting somewhere in Sembia. And
Somewhere
then
close.
Somewhere close to Mesaketh Isle.
Saloon then.
Saloon, yes.
yes.
And then deciding the best course of action for getting to Mesaketh that would leave us, hopefully, unnoticed.
I approve.
Well, good. No time like the present, right? How are we getting there? What?
I've got us.
You got us? Good.
So knowing the plan, Leith would have studied the map
Yeah.
Yep.
of the town. And this is right on the coast.
Yep.
So, because Leith has never been here, and it's going to be a little fuzzy on the details,
Okay.
we will teleport and arrive right on the beach, but using my powers of treacherous teleport,
I was afraid of that.
Seer DeRay is going to show up just like 20 to 50 feet in the water. So like waist deep, and the rest of us will be on the sand.
That's incredible.
You son of a
There's a
bitch, I
spell
love
called
that.
treacherous teleport.
Yeah.
used it
Yeah, he's done it before. Yeah.
If I can convince anybody to teleport with me, I can send whoever I want wherever I want them to go, and everybody else goes where they
That's
want.
remarkable.
All right.
So like if I wanted to kill him, I could just
The
shoot
rest
him
of
into the
you
middle of
hear
the
a
ocean.
splash as you find yourselves on the beach.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, I see the ray.
And he is going like this because he has like these long robes with like the long arm, and they're all just sopping wet.
Beyonce's.
Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. I should have realized that all of your it would interfere with that. That's my bad.
It happens
I
all
apologize.
the
Fuck wait.
I swear this never happens.
He makes his way over,
Callista gives him a bit of a baleful look.
casting a spell to dry himself as he goes, and he says, "That's one."
time. Okay.
Oh, we're keeping score.
Oh,
Anyways,
I think this is a 3 strikes situation. Maybe we should be a little nicer.
rule of threes. Well, that's who would
it's like dark elves don't get to 3. Next time it's like you're all power word kill, go.
It's just 2.
So looking out across the water, how is Mesaketh Isle close enough to see?
So when you check out the area, you can make a perception check.
I will. Also.
That's not as good as it should have
31.
been. Why?
Why do we even bother? 22.
Beautiful.
12.
34.
Fuck. Damn it. She sees the
It's not
island
even a
a
favor.
little bit
So
better.
everybody, you find yourselves looking out across a bay that appears to be pretty unforgiving. Like the waves crash against the shores of dozens of tiny islands that you can see in the distance, and countless rocky outcroppings as well. If anybody has like a geography that wants to make a check on this place,
I do.
you
I
may.
Oh my god. Why do I have geography? it's a passion project.
Ooh.
I mean, I do. It's,
Nine.
Noise.
9.
Ooh.
No, I got a 12.
Oh,
16.
damn it.
16. You would know that this is called a bay that I wrote down. Definitely did.
Interesting name.
Umberlee's Gullet.
Oh.
Burley's Gullet.
Yep. Would we know much about Umberlee?
No, it's a knowledge religion.
I was gonna say, I know who Umberlee's.
I do too. But, apparently not so much on the religion portion. 11?
You're the best
Although
cleric.
Umberlee's an evil outsider, right?
Yeah.
It's my best one, though.
Yeah, there you go.
The cleric that doesn't know
The cleric
religion.
doesn't not so
don't need
strong
to.
in the
It is
in the
alright,
religion way.
the
Callista-
tiefling knows.
Yeah, you know that she is the evil sea goddess, often worshipped by sailors or people traveling by sea, mostly out of fear of her destructive powers. She's a malicious, petty deity, and they say that's why the seas can be the same way. And if you don't please her, it is likely that you will drown when you go to sea. You probably knew people who definitely would give homage before they went on any kind of sea journey to, they call her the bitch queen.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, the sea bitch. Or, like the great queen of the sea, but bitch queen fucking.
Bitch queen.
To impart this knowledge?
Add that to
I
our band
would-
name list.
I would imagine that
I
the
feel like she
reason
just wears a bedazzled t-shirt that says "bitch queen" on it.
No, it's on her, like the back of her pants.
Juicy.
Bitchy.
Incredible.
I would imagine that this place is called Umberlee's Gullet because the seas are quite treacherous if you look at the way that the ocean crashes against the rocks there. I do not know that we want to try to take a boat unless one of us is hiding amazing sailing skills. That is not in my skill set.
And have you got a secret sailor?
Nope.
Secret sailing.
I kind of look sideways at
Secret sailor man.
I do look sideways
Nice.
at Sierra, not really expecting an affirmative
Yeah,
answer.
no, he doesn't even
Doesn't
fucking look
seem
at
to be
you.
a hardened sea salty dog.
The actual island that we're looking for is too far out to be seen, or we just didn't roll high enough to recognize it.
There's lots of
my.
different ones.
Well,
so you guys have the map that you studied, so you could probably figure
Sure.
it out, like looking at the
And also,
map.
are there any that have structures on them? Any of these islands that we can
lighthouse?
see?
Oh yeah, you
Oh.
can see some in the distance. You got over a 30, right?
Yeah, I got a 34.
Yeah, you can see that one of them, distantly, does have a lighthouse built on it. Only one.
It's like that scene in Pirates. Callista's looking at the telescope, and I'm back behind her going with a longer telescope.
That is
I see it
exactly what I hope is
Well-
happening.
I think it is that one. There's one with a lighthouse out. Can I tell about how far out it seems?
I think I have that information. Dun 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 dun.
Make another little.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
I need to make a roll
Uh-oh.
for remembering where it was in this book.
Looking at this lighthouse kills you.
Yeah,
immediately.
About 2 miles out.
Well, I mean, if we just want to walk on water, I can make us do that.
I don't think it'd be that easy to walk on that water.
Behind you guys, you would see the city.
Better than swimming.
You guys are inside the walls that surround even the harbor area here. It's an old city, and it's full of pretty gothic-looking architecture, like sprinkled with gargoyles and other kind of like creepy decorations. But it's also bustling. Like even the beach area here and the docks, like it's crazy busy right now because it's during the daytime. And you would see.
Just imagine a kid with like floaties right next to Sarah.
You would
Some
know
kid making
that
the
with your
poopsie
geography check, you
castles.
would know that the bay is called Sailorloon Bay, and then that cross between the islands in it is called Umberlee's Gullet. Yeah, you can see like smoke rising out of buildings. You can hear like animal sounds. Moving
Smell the
through.
sea brine.
Yeah, you can smell dung and sea brine and
like
cooking
that
meats and the stench of like leather tanning and smelting and all these city smells.
Kind of reminds Jill of Waterdeep.
Yep.
And we knew, or we had heard before that Serloon was a bit lawless. Is that what we had heard?
You did hear that, yes.
Cool.
I wonder whether it would be worthwhile to see if we can pick up any knowledge about Mezaketh before we head out there, or if that would risk tipping someone off to our arrival. What do you all think?
It depends on how you handle it.
I would think that if there are followers of the Mistress of Night, or the Shadowvar or the Tentals in this area, any sort of questions about Hesimdall's Beacon or Mezaketh Isle would raise some flags.
That's one way to look at it.
What is another way to look at it?
Well, if there are people operating here that are in this cult, then they must have ways to communicate with each other and find each other.
Certainly. Are you suggesting you know a way to communicate?
Not at all.
The alternative would be blundering about and hoping we would stumble on some kind of code word. That does not seem wise.
How do you think the aspiring cultists find people here in the city?
I'm not an aspiring cult member, I do not know.
Maybe try putting yourself in the mindset.
Cult of Shah. The people who lost something. People who lost something important. So, a graveyard, good place to start. A bar, try to drink yourself to death. I don't know. I mean, I'm tempted to just check out the bar.
Really, I just want to
Don't
go to the
want
bar,
to sell it to
and I'm looking for an excuse.
I mean, generally it's a good place to start looking, and if we could, it's not that hard to start crying and need a drink.
I suppose we could scope it out and see what we overhear.
Beyonce also has his crimson cloth that
Cool.
like goes from here and across the eye. He's not wearing his Phantom of the Opera thing.
Very cool.
And I'm gonna put the hat of disguise on before we go into the city and turn myself into the disguise that look no. We're not gonna go. Matilda's too remember.
We all remember her.
Sure do.
We all remember her.
I'm gonna turn myself.
How can we forget?
I'm gonna turn myself into the half elf that looks reminiscently like Jill's sister.
Yeah, sisters. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
Do I have
awesome.
a name for her?
No.
Wasn't that something that sounded a lot like Hilarious?
Oh yeah.
No, that was when she was a tiefling. I called her Erin.
Yeah. It was some fucking no. I was Aaron. I went tiefling, and you
Yeah.
went tiefling too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was funny.
Anyway,
It did make me laugh.
I don't remember if I had named. I guess it doesn't matter. I can be someone else, but
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I might
lead the
have
way.
an
This
idea.
is your purview.
I can drink.
Oh, I can too.
I can look sadder than you.
is this something you might do?
Oh, look, I'm Jill.
Go fuck yourself. And at this point, Jill would burst through fucking. And she would bump into Leith, who is exceptionally, actually sad right now.
He looks like he is thinking of something right now. Let him talk.
What?
Siri Ray says it seems you need some time to put the thoughts together.
I have an idea. I'm not entirely sure where to look, but if one of you two wanted to come with me, I'm sure it would work out. I feel like he's gonna draw too much attention, and no offense, Beyonce, but
None taken.
where I think we need to look, you don't exactly fit in.
I put out a very specific vibe.
You do. It's a good vibe.
Jill would,
Just not for today.
No.
Jill would bow. He's like, wherever you say, Prince.
Let's maybe keep that under wraps around here.
Seems wise. Are you going with me? And I will stick with Beyonce and Cedre. All right.
Keep an eye on him. And Leith is gonna just kind of wander into the city,
Okay.
looking and using any arcane senses that he might have.
Jill has her hands in her pocket still, and she would kind of lean down like, can we go to the bar, please?
He's looking for like the shadiest
Yes!
magic shop
Yes.
you can find.
Oh,
Where,
so close.
where you would go if you were desperate and seeking arcane help for something.
Okay.
Jill has her hood up.
Leith does too. He's been wearing his
Hot.
most of the time.
Awesome.
All right. You guys head through. This city is one of the most chaotic cities you've ever seen in terms of the layout. Like, it looks like there was no city planning done at all.
Wow,
And it was
awesome.
entirely just like
What was
built
needed.
up. Yeah, what was needed in the moment with no rhyme or reason given to it.
Stacked on top.
There, you would come across like one open plaza market that suddenly just appears. Like, you turn a corner and there's like a huge opening that you weren't expecting, and you would see lots of like businesses kind of calling out. You'd hear Aurora's Emporium, clothes sewn in saloon using the finest Darlunian wool and linen. We also sell children's wooden string puppets and famous marionettes, popular across the realms.
Jill like has all of her shit on her belt, and she slides the money pouch to the front of her body,
Seems smart.
and she kind of like nudges Leith and signals him to do the same.
Leith just like looks at his, tucks it inside his shirt.
Smart. Smart.
You go by somebody else who says, "Fine wines for sale, Salunian special vat, and Glowfire? A bottle of wine for the lady, Salunian Topaz."
Ooh, sounds like a gin.
Do you hear that, dear? Glowfire. Topaz.
Suit yourself.
Cedere stops and he's just paying the man and taking a bottle of pale red
We're-
wine that's...
Wait, is
Oh, he's not with you guys.
Yeah,
No,
he's
I
with
he's
us.
think it's just us.
fine. He's thinking about it.
He's
mean-
not getting to experience.
He's like, as soon as I can get some wine.
I mean, I am planning on leading Beyonce and Cedre to
Well,
a bar too.
he's gonna
Yeah.
buy some
I
alcohol.
want to buy a bottle of Glowfire.
All right.
You're just like posted up at Margaritaville,
It's just a
right
couple
off the
gold.
beach.
It's not.
I
Just sitting on a beach chair.
Beyonce's like digging his feet into the sand.
drinking a very fruity looking drink. Very
Just
pink.
takes his water skin and does tears to wine.
Thanks. Amazing.
And
Yes.
like Leith would ask people and find directions and
Okay. Why don't you
Whatnot.
make a general diplomacy check to gather some information?
general diplomacy.
Sergeant
General
diplomacy.
diplomacy.
That's gonna be a 28.
Nice.
Yeah, boy.
Son, look at you,
Yeah.
diplomat.
I'm very charismatic when you guys let me talk to people.
That's true. We're not going, shut up, Lee. That's the t-shirt. Shut up, Lee.
Shut up, Lee.
Shut the
So
fuck
you
up, Leaf.
hear
You're out of
about
your
a place
element.
called Sustris Hallander's All House, which is a trader. They call it an odd lots emporium that deals in anything worth coin.
Sustris Allanders sounds sus.
Same thing.
Sus AF.
Yeah, we'll make our way there.
Okay. It says he's a Harcoin trader, and I was like, a trader, and I was like, what's that? And I googled it, and it says it's Bitcoin. So it's
Immediately know.
So
Salunian
they
Bitcoin.
only trade via Bitcoin
Would you like
or
some of
the
this
medieval
ethereal-
equivalent.
Would you like to pay real money for this fake money? Here we go. Sorry, we're alienating people.
Yep.
Never mind. It's real, totally.
We love Bitcoin.
That's real.
But yeah, that sounds like the closest thing maybe to what you
Sure.
want, because it sounds a little shady, the whole deal. So you guys can head there. You will pass by some temples. You see a a temple of Mistra, and it's a big tower called the Tower of Mysteries. You will pass by some minor shrines to like Timora and Joaquin. You you pass by a couple of inns and taverns. So you pass by one tavern, it's called the Black Viper.
That looks fun in there.
And you pass by another inn that's also got a tavern in it called the Blue Cow.
That looks fun too.
Goodbye, my love.
If you think you can find anything in either one of them places, feel free.
And you see a tavern called Lady Ray's, and there's a sign up that says women only.
Yeah, I could go in there.
Go ahead.
Can you take care of yourself?
Of course.
And I would kind of like, I'd be like, sure, you can protect yourself from any muggers, huh? And I kind of like, I'm trying to get, I'm very sad when Leith is sad. I'd like, he's normally like happy, and I'm trying to get a little rise out of him.
I'll be fine.
All right. Meet back here in an hour?
Sure.
Back here in an hour.
An hour.
All right. And at this point, Jill would go off into that place, Lady Ray's.
Lady Ray's.
Lady Ray's, sweet
Okay.
Lady Ray's.
So they let you in at the door, and when you go in, you would find that it is a bar that caters exclusively to women,
Cool.
or
Fun.
at least people who are convincingly dressed as women.
10%.
Otherwise, it seems like a typical bar.
Awesome.
Like,
Sick. I love it.
there's like girls
It's
arm
always ladies'
wrestling.
night.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's always ladies' night.
Oh, what a
Lady
night.
Ray's.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so Jill would kind of be like delighted at this place, and then kind of remember that we're supposed to be babies and that we've like lost our whole family or some shit. And so she goes like, and like goes up to the bar and orders a drink.
Alright, bartender, she has like chestnut colored hair that's kind of in like a short spiky style. She's pretty in shape. And she will get you a drink. And you will see that there is somebody like drinking their sorrows away who is also here. And they'll like call for another one. And it's a halfling, a female halfling.
Oh.
She's got like long straight black hair that she has like tied back in a ponytail. She's very short, like a halfling. She's like 3'2", but pretty athletic. And she's just sort of like leaning like this as she looks in her empty glass, waiting for her next one.
And Jill kind of would see this, and then she would order like, in addition to her like ale, she would order like 3 shots and just like have them set up like in front of her, like, and take one and then just leave the other 2 for a second and kind of try to mimic this, like trying to just drink something away.
Bluff
Vibe.
check.
Okay.
Or perform, either one.
I think I can go
You
with bluff.
choose. Pick your
We'll
poison.
go with bluff.
I feel like you have the inspiration
Yeah, right. I mean, you know, all of that
to
shit.
get into the character.
24.
Hey.
Nice. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually she kind of looks
She's a
over and
cordial.
sees you and she says, "What's your problem?"
It's none of your business. What's your problem?
None of your business.
That's it. No, I'm just, good start.
Conversation over.
No, and I would just kind of like sigh, like, again, playing the part that I'm sort of reticent to say something, but then I would just sort of be like, I'm just trying to drink away some memories. Just trying to not think about somebody.
You know what's good for that?
What's that?
And she points at a bottle behind the counter, and let's see what it's called. The Crystal Rust Monster Whiskey.
That
Glorious.
looks amazing.
I want
And
it.
I would kind of like, I would nod and I'd be like, could you use a shot of that too, my friend?
We could split a bottle.
And yeah, Jill would kind of like
Also, here's
smile
my
and-
room key.
Yeah. I dinner first. Jill's like, I have come to the wrong bar.
Eric's gone for 15 minutes.
Right.
Out of sight, out of mind.
When the cat's away.
Yes, like 15 minutes later. Hey!
It's my bachelorette party.
I ordered the bottle.
Somehow you have a sash.
I ordered the bottle. Oh my god.
It's
So
the gold
good.
for the bottle.
That's great. I take the whole thing and I would slide it to her first. I'm like, so, now that all the pleasantries are aside, what are you trying to drink away?
Also something. I don't want to forget. I don't want to feel anything. For some time.
It's pretty heavy.
Have you ever had your whole life sort of upended overnight and felt kind of like you don't have a plan anymore for anything?
And all of a sudden it's not playing a part anymore. And so Jill's just kind of like, yes?
Yeah. That. And she holds up her glass.
And I would, yeah, and I imagine it kind of continues on that way, down that path. And Jill is trying to kind of like keep, like,
Make a
reeling
diplomacy
it in.
check.
Yeah. See if, yeah, okay, here we, oh boy. Diplomatic. Fuck. 17.
Still good.
It's
That's not bad.
Thanks, guys.
It doesn't
Solid.
really take
Solid.
too long to get a lot of information out of her. She's continuing to drink more and getting more loose-lipped as she does. Find out her name is Cora Dane.
Gordon.
And that she is drinking away the fact that her husband of the past 4 years was killed very recently in a werewolf attack.
Okay.
And that they had been planning to like open a business together, and they had just moved to Sailor Loon, and now she's on her own and doesn't know if she can support herself, and she doesn't know what to do, and she doesn't really have any friends here.
Okay. So at this, Jill would say, like, well, I mean, I've heard this, like, there's
Trying to
like,
figure out if Lee is the one who killed her husband.
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
I know. We're kind of far from. That wasn't 4 years ago. I don't think.
up north there.
That wasn't 4 years ago.
Well, so I was like,
They were married 4 years.
He was just
Very recently.
in the woods. And Jill would say, well, like, I mean, I've heard that there's like groups around to help people who are on their own. Have you ever looked into one of them? And Jill is getting a little sloshed, but she is not as drunk as she is pretending
like
to
a
be.
support group kind of thing.
Well, that, or like, you know,
Like a club.
I feel they're almost like families. Like, you know,
Like a
they
fight club.
No, can't talk about that. You can't talk about those. But no, like almost like, I don't know, like a commune. Like people all live together, and people like you who maybe are struggling.
What about you? Did you ever live in a place like that?
I mean, I've dabbled, and that's a big lot. But yeah.
Bluff Jack.
Dabble.
Among cultists many times.
The one where
I
Jill
read.
accidentally convinces an innocent bystander to join a cult that we're trying to destroy.
39! Jesus Christ!
Lamb to the slaughter. Damn.
She says, I've heard some things. What's that like?
Well, I mean, they'll take care of you. They will, you know, make sure that you're protected, make sure that you're safe.
so wrong.
I mean, I kind of would like gesture at myself. I'm like, not to brag, but I can take care of myself now. But
You look
maybe
like you can take care of yourself.
they could maybe help you get on your feet until you can take care of yourself too. Is there anything like that around here?
Well, I did have somebody talk to me
Oh yeah.
once. She was here. She was saying something kind of like you, but she was still with the group.
What was the group?
She said they were almost like a family. But that it was about ridding yourself of this anger and this pointlessness. That feeling, she said it would give you a purpose.
Did she say, like, where to go if you wanted to join up?
And she said to find this guy named Rimroos.
Great. Well, enjoy the rest of your drink. No, I'm just kidding.
Cool, bye.
That's the name.
Information acquired.
And,
And then you have a deep look in each
Yeah.
other's eyes.
all at once. So Jill would kind of continue drinking this with this woman, and I imagine, about how long has it been? Would she have an idea? Like, has it been like
You've
10
probably
minutes?
been talking to her for at least half an hour.
Half an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jill would kind of just keep drinking with this woman
Okay.
for another half hour.
Meanwhile, let me see who I'm gonna go to next. Lead.
I go to the sus shop.
To the sus
Sasha!
The sus shop.
Awesome.
All right. So you go to this emporium for all things. And it is definitely on the shady side. It's down like a weird alleyway. There's some creepy people kind of hanging out in the alleyway.
Shady pranksters.
Just like leaning on the walls.
Leaf is gonna
Like
get
rolling dice.
Is there any just like random symbols of Shar
He's gonna get
painted on the
mugged.
wall?
No.
Okay.
Knowledge,
We
religion,
ran into that in Sambia
knowledge
before.
religion check.
You see a lot of graffiti that says "See bitch."
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell for
Yeah,
life.
Yeah, you don't know.
With a 4.
You don't see any big like symbols of Shar.
LYFE.
I mean, we ran into that before.
We sure did.
It's the only reason. I
Literally.
Worth a check.
We ran into a portal.
Got us in a lot of trouble.
Sure it did. Sure did.
Lethal just walked past these folks and into the shop.
Okay. Ding ding ding. Little bell. The shop itself is moderately busy. There are a lot of people sort of up at the counter, kind of bargaining with a person, and you would see there's like a couple people who have like blackjacks hanging off their belts, who are just sort of walking back and forth among the stacks of stuff that's in here. And pretty much there's nothing marked. Everything just has like a big sign over it that says best offers. We buy or trade.
Leaf will kind of just meander slowly through the aisles until he finds like whatever collection of the darkest, weirdest, most obscure
Head.
potential things.
Shrunken heads?
Yeah, something like that.
I love that. Let's do some shrunken heads.
Awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely. Let's see.
Eyeball in a jar.
Yeah, like that kind of weird stuff.
Just anything, that would, scream occult,
Yeah.
necromancy,
Creepy ass
darkness.
doll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy dolls.
Porcelain
Annabelle.
dolls.
Yeah.
They're definitely good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Books bound in human skin.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Grimoires.
candles that like look like body parts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got a little section like that.
That's a great word too.
Occult kish.
Yeah, cult kish. It's amazing.
Like someone says the Book of Shadows.
Yeah. Ooh, cool. There's a thing about the shadow
Leave is
Hava,
probably,
or whatever it is,
like,
the dark Hava.
Flipping through that to see what's in there.
Okay.
Nice.
Make a knowledge religion check.
One of those books where it shows the author, but then a quote by that author as a review.
Yes.
Amazing.
10.
10.
Terrifying.
Okay. You're flipping through it, and it's really like convoluted kind of circular logic stuff, talking about like the power of magic and tapping into the darkness, and it all kind of sounds the same to you, so you're just flipping through like this is usually.
Is anybody paying any kind of attention to
Make
Leaf?
a sense motive check.
Like
We
to
should've
Evangeline
taken
Slush,
that
like,
other
oh, let me read this book about the darkness.
15.
This looks terrifying.
Look at my tormented soul.
I'm so brooding.
Yeah, there's like a
Just lost everything.
like a dragon-blooded woman who has like a frill, like a silver frill.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got a beefy build. She's like 6'2". And
Hot
she's
people and bad bitches
she's-
in this world.
I
and
know,
love
like-
it. I love it.
Might as well. Why not?
she's wearing
Why
like
not bad
armor, and she's just kind of like leaning against the wall. But she also has one of those matching like blackjacks that looks like they belong to the people who are guarding this place. And she's kind of watching you out of the corner of her eye.
Excuse me, do you work here?
Sure do.
I know it's probably a long shot, but you wouldn't happen to have any books or scrolls that would talk about how to bring someone back? Would you?
You talking necromancy?
I suppose.
You should stay away from that stuff, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't really have a choice.
There's always a choice, kid.
So nothing like that in here?
And make a sense mode.
Eight.
Okay. She
It's
sort of
it's whatever I roll.
she sort of looks
There's no
away.
Anna.
You can't tell exactly like what's going on with her. You would see when she looks away that she has like on her scales that go down her neck. There appear to be like some kind of pustules or like a rash sort of things down the side. And then she looks back at you and she says, "Maybe go look somewhere else."
Oh, okay. But thank you.
And as you're walking away, somebody grabs your arm.
Oh God! Fuck! Why do we split up?
And it's a guy, you see a large like scar on his eyebrow.
Oh,
he's got like
good.
curly red hair.
Yeah.
It's a
Human
ginger
guy,
exactly.
very young. He's like squinting at you. And
Lumberjack of a dude.
oh yeah, totally. And he says, "What, you're driving off all our best customers? Come on, sir, I think I got what you need." And he leads you over to the counter.
Right.
He says, "I'm Cedric. Don't listen to Virtu over there. She's got a hoity-toity dragon thing."
Is that racist?
All right.
Is their religion? Whatever.
Well, my name's Seamus, and
Love Jack.
Oh, come on, dude.
She's my boss.
19.
19. Nice, Seamus. Welcome.
I'm kind of looking for something special.
Special. This is the place to come for special. Simon, get over here.
Okay.
You would
There's-
see that the person working behind the counter is like a young half elf who also has like the same red hair, but his is long and wavy, and his eyes are like almost black when he turns to look at you. He's very, very thin. He has sort of diamond-shaped cut features. That look kind of disturbing. Like he got all the worst traits combined, kind of, from being a human and an elf, like in a way that's unsettling. It doesn't look right.
Cartoonish. It's like Batman Beyond. It's
And he
animation.
says, "Simon over here can hook you up with anything you need."
Hi, Simon. I'm Seamus.
He just nods.
I guess the easiest I lost someone,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
and I was wondering if there's anything here that might help me bring them back.
How long ago did you lose this person?
It was 2 days, maybe 3.
Oh, that's a real sad story, mate. Simon, why don't you bring him back to the special stocks?
Oh, God. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on. And he just moves the wooden bar that leads into the back of this place, and you will head back there. Meanwhile, you two.
3. Seirdre's with us.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Beyonce's
They're
like
skipping along the beach.
Beyonce just like sat down and is like
Making a
putting
sandcastle.
the sand over his legs. Just
Oh, I was totally leading y'all into the city. I'm not actually gonna sit on the beach.
Just like
it's so nice.
pulled out the sand.
I haven't been to the beach in so long.
I am sorry, but we need to also be doing a reconnaissance as long as we are.
Well, we said I was like not good at this. Why not just enjoy the beach? Let them do the thing.
Well, I suppose if you wish to stay here, but I would like to.
No, we get in trouble when we split the party.
Who would ever be that dumb?
It's true. Let us find just some sort of out of the way tavern and just listen.
I can listen.
Let's go.
Have a better idea.
I am at your disposal.
Oh, excellent. Noted.
Good.
That's 2.
Oh my god. So sensitive.
Wow.
Callista gives Seirdre the side eye, like.
What?
And she leads the way into the city.
Okay. So you guys head into the city to try to find somewhere to
I'm looking
eavesdrop.
for not necessarily like one of the higher end bars,
Mm-hmm.
probably more of a rundown one where it might be more likely that someone is in like a desperate
Perception
situation.
check?
One of those ones that's named for a color and then an animal. One of those.
The red pill trap.
Well, there was the blue cow.
I know.
And the Black Viper.
The black viper. Didn't we have the golden
35.
lion as well? Like, there was a,
35. Right here near the city docks, there's a place called
36.
Cromer's Inn and Tavern, and like just looking at it, you get the feeling it's very cheap. Like the building itself is
it's
like
not
kind
like
of
a tiki
tilting.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
And,
being held
it's
up.
very rough and tumble looking from the clientele going in and out.
fun.
So that seems like a good place to go.
I'll take them in.
Okay.
And I'm looking for kind of like if there's picture the inn at Bree, like where Strider's like sitting in the corner, like kind of in the
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
shadows.
I know that
like,
reference
listening.
now.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're
Yay.
looking for, like a corner we can sit in the shadows and just listen.
All
They at
right.
least the extended versions.
Yes.
Okay.
At first, there's no corners
Thanks.
available. There's a lot of shady types in here trying to do the same thing. So you guys kind of had to awkwardly loiter a bit.
Every corner is taken by some dude with a pipe.
Everybody's just looking at each other.
Everyone's got hoods
Someone in
on.
the middle of the tent. No, I'm just kidding.
There's no smoking
There's
ban,
a bunch
so
of
it's
really
just a
nice looking
cloud.
dudes in the middle, oblivious.
No, but eventually, yes, something will open up where you guys can do exactly that. Sudere just like sits there like this at the table.
Of course he does. What a prick.
Beyonce just kind of like fidgets a little.
I assume you're listening, so perception check.
Does anybody see the QR code for the menu?
Phyllis is like, I see everything.
Yes.
I see God.
31.
31. Nice. All right. Yeah, you overhear a lot of things. I mean, a lot of it's just going to be like crap you don't care about, honestly. But what things are you listening for?
I'm first trying to look and see if there are any loners who seem like really down on their luck.
Sense motive.
And then I'm going to be watching to see if anyone else approaches them.
Okay.
35 sense motive.
Yes, there are a few in here. One of them's like passed out literally at the table.
Not paying super close attention
Yeah,
to that
everybody's just kind of like sitting there anyway, like whether they were with the guy or not, and then leaving, and then more people come, like that
cleaning
kind
up
of thing.
around him.
But yeah, you see maybe like a middle-aged gentleman, this human, blonde guy. He has kind of soft features. With your perception check, you would see that he has a brand of some kind on his hand.
Ooh.
And from your experience with like the Dark Waters, you would know that it is a slave brand. And he's trying to conceal it a little bit with his sleeve, but it's slipped up a bit, like when he reaches for something and your eyes just eagle eye onto that. He looks uncomfortable in here. He's like staring into his drink, looking contemplative. And then you would see a woman who doesn't exactly look like she fits with the clientele here, approach and sit next to him with a smile on her face. She is a very beautiful looking woman. She's got dark hair and striking dark eyes, and she has a scarf sort of wrapped around her, and she's wearing clothes that seem like kind of silky and flowy, but all black, except her scarf is a deep purple. And she sits next to him, and you'd see her talking to him, and you can sense motive from both of them that just so you can use the one from before, you don't have to reroll, that she is being manipulative and isn't really interested in him, but he thinks she is, and is seeming to like buy into whatever is going on here.
That's mean.
I'm going to quietly
Good for you.
say to Beyonce and Sierra Duray, the man and woman at the bar, the woman in black, if they leave together, I am going to follow. Wait here for me.
What did I say about splitting up so much?
I can move nearly unseen.
What do you intend to do when you get to wherever she's going?
Find out where they're going. Find information.
You want to play a game or something?
They have big Jenga over there.
Like take out like a piece of copper.
Apples
and-
to apples.
So take out like a piece of copper and there's like
It's
a,
a little illusionary
board,
like
Yeah.
a
The bigger, blacker
like a
box.
piece of paper, like a
All right,
piece of
you're
copper,
on.
and try and clink it.
Beyonce, make an intelligence
Play
check. He's
quarters.
gonna play like some kind of chess-like game, basically,
Cool.
with
Oh,
you.
fuck.
Cool.
Yep.
It's like tic-tac-toe, but
That's
bigger.
a 10.
Well, you're average, all right. He got
average.
I don't think that's ever been said to be
18.
honest.
So
No.
he quickly beats you.
Well, so
Care to
You
put
want some?
money on it now?
why don't we
Rematch?
play one of my games?
That's not really how you bet, bud.
Barbaric. So that's how that's going. As you see those two slip out the door.
Nice.
As they get up to leave, I'm going to, as I start to stand up, I'm gonna put my hand on my own shoulder, and cast, kind of like slide my hand down my arm and cast Chameleon Stride on myself. And as I slide my hand down my arm, like, my body starts to become kind of like, it's like, is she there? Is she not there? Like, so I become, I fade into the background. I'm not truly invisible, but I'm hard to pinpoint due to my translucent state.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
And then I will slip out the door and follow them, sticking to the shadows.
And that is where we will wrap.
Yes! Cool! Awesome! Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody's getting into nonsense.
Okay, let's not split the party. We are split 4 ways.
Split the party in as many ways as possible. All right, we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Bye. Yay.